Hi, everybody. I'm Tash,
And I'm Damo.
and we are very excited to bring you this week's episode of
The Barry Chronicles.
We're very grateful to everybody that's ever come on the Barry Chronicles. We think you're amazing and we're so appreciative.
Yeah.
But we want to do a bit of talking ourselves.
Yeah, and I really enjoy it when we can just sit and chat. Yeah, so
Okay.
we've just been into Melbourne for a meeting with the team from Monash.
We have, which is amazing. So that's going to be great. We are very, very thankful to have been invited to be a part of the committee that they have from the BSR can be used.
Yeah.
To benefit those living with overweight and obesity. So we're very, very, very grateful for that. And, obviously those that have had bariatric surgery, which is our passion. Let's be real.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Because there's so much happening in the whole arena of treating and obesity. We've got all the GLP-1s and all the injections and tablets that are coming out.
There's so many things now that are available to help those of us that have lived in our bigger bodies who would like to address that. I love the fact that NSET have brought out that's been conducted over the last couple of years, sort of redefining how to, for want of a better word, I guess, diagnose or what the criteria should be to diagnose clinical obesity. So we love that as well. We love that BMI is not going to be about time. Well done, guys. We love you for that.
Taken so long to get to this point.
Yeah, it only took 60 years, but let's hope that other things don't take that long.
I think one of the things that I am sort of struggling with, though, is how expensive it all is.
Yeah, look, I too struggle with that. I know so many people that just are unable to access the type of GLP-1 that they've been prescribed because price is prohibitive. Even in Australia, health funds will cover, but they're only covering a percentage or a smaller portion now.
Some are
just
not covering it anymore. And to me, it really shows that a lot of these companies look at obesity as a cash cow.
Yeah. Ka-ching, ka-ching. So
boo to them.
Yeah, boo and a hiss. Boo and a hiss. Because we actually understand the lives, the actual people who sit behind all of these decisions, who are directly impacted by this. We see you. Hey, we actually are you.
Yeah, that's right.
So one of the things I guess that I've become really, really aware of over the last little while is the fact that while I did run away from gastric bypass nearly 7 years ago now, Damo.
Crazy.
I went down that pathway, but I'm really aware that it's not just surgery begats surgery. We know that if you start off and you have a bariatric metabolic procedure, that there is going to be a chance that down the line you might need revision. And we're both in the revision boat.
Yeah.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy.
Here we are in the little boat that says you require a revision.
A revision. Yes, so you've been booked in.
Of two things addressed. Number one is the fact that I have a syndrome called candy cane syndrome.
Love candy cane.
That you get from Santa. It's something bad that you get that can make a stomach ulcer. So lucky me, that's one of my diagnoses. But yeah,
it's funny, that word, isn't it? Diagnosis.
So yeah, that's been a little bit on the.
So how do you feel about? How does that make you feel?
How does it make me feel? Honestly, it feels like trash. I guess I've known for a long time that we've all known for a long time that there were things going on in my gizzard that were not right. But there's been so many other things that were and to be really honest with you, Damo, I still don't. And if I could avoid doing this, I would. But I also am aware that I need to try something.
Yeah, and it's got to that point, hasn't it? Like you've tried everything else.
I've spent 5 years trying a lot of other things. Nothing is making the stomach ulcer situation any better. And I've been assured by a number of different surgeons that fixing the candy cane issue is very helpful.
Yeah, I guess you and I both find it hard to just believe that because
100%. Like when you sit in a group like Bariatric Support Australia and you read all of the posts that come in and you read the comments that come in and you speak with people, like you and I both speak with people that have patients that have really severe complications, and a lot of times people that don't want to post because a lot of times people don't want to just share um, negative things because they don't want people to be put off having surgery because it has changed their lives and they would still do it even knowing what they know. Well, today, I would still have jumped up on that table 7 years ago because I have got to experience a whole different kind of life surgery. So I'm
Yeah.
still profoundly grateful and always will be.
Yeah, I think it's that whole accepting that there may be some issues and weighing that against how things are now. And I think that's why surgery is always going to be an option for people. Because sometimes, okay, even with the issues that may arise, and they may not, for some people it's probably still a better thing than the way they're living.
I could probably expect to lose. It was kind of in the vicinity of something that I just couldn't even fathom at the time. I've actually lost 200% for 7 years.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Would that have happened with a medication that I used to only dream about? Even though I've still got all of this other crap that goes on in the background. Let's be honest, I don't really talk about it very much. Like, just during the week, I was cleaning out the medicine box. I don't know about you guys. Mine seems to have spread. Like over the years, it went from box to box to box. And I think there was like 5 boxes that had medicine crap in them. Anyway, I was cleaning it out during the week. Spacer that I used to use for asthma because I'm so really bad asthma.
Amazing.
Stuff changes your life.
Yeah, and you don't realise how much you use that sort of stuff until you stop using it.
Until I didn't need to use it anymore.
Now, this is something that I've been thinking a lot about, the medication side of it. And something that you just said, I think it's helped me sort of understand why I have an issue with the medications and with it being used specifically for weight loss as yes, this is a good alternative to surgery. I think my issue comes with that once surgery's done, it's done. Whereas with the medications, if someone's having a bad month and can't afford their prescription, then suddenly they go off it. And with how much it is, there's a good chance that people won't take it back up again when it comes to paying another, who knows, $700 for a month's prescription.
I mean, at that price, like I truly hope that the prices do sit out of the realms of possibility. I actually think that it's really cruel to dangle carrots in front of people and it be just out of reach. I mean, I feel exactly the same way about bariatric surgery, which is why I'm passionate about publicly funded bariatrics as well as privately funded bariatrics.
Yeah, exactly.
For exactly the same reason, because ultimately, unless you've lived in a bigger body that is starting to fail because of health issues, you don't know what it feels like to have been me.
Yeah.
I'm now living with the results of having been in a bigger body for such a long time. I have issues with my joints that I know I have because I lived in a bigger body.
Yep.
Probably have reactive hypoglycemia to the degree that I have it because I lived in a bigger body for so long. They can't really tell me exactly why I need to get a syringe.
Yeah.
They don't really know exactly. We can assume that my pancreas is doing weird things, doesn't really comprehend just how much weight I've lost, and still pumps out a gigantic amount of insulin.
Yeah.
So there are so many things that we still don't really know or understand about what it's like to live in bigger bodies. And I think that all of the things should be used to help us as much as possible. But I also think that for me, bariatric surgery was 100% the right thing to do. However, the same boat. We're in the same stall, different boats. I'm in the bypass boat. Your sleeve boat. Let's have a bit of a chat about that because you've got really recent updates.
As I've talked about before, I've had pretty bad reflux ever since I had the sleeve, to the point that there are some podcasts where if you know what reflux can do, you can hear it in my voice that, yes, you had a bout of bad reflux last night. And it's also affected my teeth. They're terrible, and I'm in the process of getting them fixed. However, they can't do a whole lot to fix it until I get the reflux addressed. So that's where we're at. But I never really wanted to have to go to bypass. I've been happy with the weight that I'm at, and I just don't see that.
But you've actually said before that you wish you had done bypass.
Yeah, I think I'd sort of got into a mindset that it would fix everything and that I probably would have lost more weight initially. But since having read information from the BSR and spoken to numerous surgeons that have all sort of indicated the same thing, that there really isn't that great a difference between sleeve and bypass in the long term. So I think either way you're looking at potential complications, and I think it's just accepting what you did and being happy with the choice that you made.
It's very interesting because when we started the Barry Chronicles, you weren't there.
No.
Like, you 100% were not there.
No.
Like, I 100% was not on board surgery, and there has been a progression in us as we have gone on this journey. Guys, listening to the kind of things that you would like to hear from us, where we've reflected, looked inward, and asked ourselves about our own limiting beliefs, about the things that we want for ourselves, and what are the barriers that I was creating with my thoughts around being able to have certain things, feeling like I just had to accept the way that things were because, oh my goodness, how could, and for me, a lot of it came back always to money, sitter, and I just felt guilty at the thought of even considering having a revision. So I've had to go on a journey myself and look inward, and actually do deserve to have this addressed in my life. I don't deserve to have to be as a constant problem.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of place that I've come to. Like when we first started the Barry Chronicles, I was full on thinking bypass. I'm going to go get a
100%.
bypass and lose more weight. Honestly, I think a lot of that came from my own obesity bias, because forever I saw myself as a failure because I was obese. Now we're starting to understand and rephrase the way we speak about obesity. And it was never me that was the problem. Yes, I contributed to it by the portion sizes that I ate and everything else that went along with it. But that didn't make me a good or a bad person. And as we've gone along and I've realized, well, you know what I've achieved and done for the last 11 years is fucking amazing. And I should be able to be proud of that, regardless of what size my shirt is, other doctors or anyone thinks about me. And so as I've sort of come to realize that, I just like, you know what, I can be happy in myself and proud of myself. I just want to get the reflux fixed.
So I find it really great that there are surgeons out there who are willing to look at people's sleeves and go, okay, this is what we could do to help improve this situation. Like, obviously not everybody be.
And that's what Alex has said, that it would depend what he saw when he got in there and what he could fix. And it's not just a hiatus hernia. There are other things that he's going to fix while he's in there, just because sleeves are done differently now and there's better ways to do things and all of that. Be with that. And yeah, I think it's great if instead of a revision and it just, okay, it's easier to just do a bypass, we'll book you in for a revision, we'll do a Roux-en-Y on you. That's sort of an easy way to do it. It's an easy way for the patient, it's an easy way for the surgeon, because they don't have to go and do all the tests and everything else. But I think it's great that there is an option that we can look at that isn't as invasive, because I think when I was thinking about it, it's like, you've got the pre-op and then you've got all the post-op stages and all that for something that may or may not fix the reflux anyway. It's a lot to go through.
As you've seen my journey, still daily do live with reflux.
Yeah.
So it's possible to have a Roux-en-Y and still have reflux.
Yeah, and that's such a huge part of my decision, because I think I would be more devastated if I had the Roux-en-Y and suddenly I'm not absorbing nutrients and stuff. and then to still have reflux. That's just not a risk I'm willing to take.
It's just interesting, I guess, to me that we've both come to this point. And I mean, it's been a lot. Like, there's been so much going on in our lives, personally, professionally. I can't even really put into words all of the things that have been going on behind the scenes. Like, those of you that regularly listen, she's back having chemo. She's having her 5th round. And it's been such an intense time for us. So to even contemplate the idea of going down the route of a revision right now, it feels like long. I keep saying to my family, maybe I should just postpone it, maybe I should cancel it, maybe I should not do this right now. But if not now, myself. And at some point, we do just have to look after ourselves and see enough value and worth in ourselves to address those niggling little and big concerns.
And I will say this, because there's always a big debate about, should I do it with private health? Should I just access my super? All this. For me, if it wasn't for the private health, then I wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, so there are advantages to having the private health cover.
It's also freaking expensive, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. There have been quite a few times over the last 10 years that I sort of look and go, do we really need this?
Yeah. Oh, look, we've done the same thing. I mean, the maths on it's
And a couple of times we've had to pause it. Yeah. Thankfully, my health cover will allow us to do that occasionally if we need to. And that's sort of been helpful. But this is where our advocacy for more surgeries being done in the public system really comes in, because we realise how fortunate we are and the privilege that we have to be able to have the private health cover. And we're so grateful for that. But we are also so passionate about seeing this covered more in the public sector because people just can't afford it.
I had surgery when I did. I was already a pre-diabetic. I was looking at costs, diabetic medication, and how much over the course of someone's lifespan from services. So ultimately, in the long run, actually does work out to be more cost effective to have
a
bariatric surgery. It's worked out more cost effective for me anyway to have had bariatric surgery rather than put myself in harm's way. And that's where I was. I was definitely in harm's way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people may not necessarily even consider bariatric surgery until those, the pre-diabetes and whatever else is happening. So, it's not like, we want to give bariatric surgery to anyone who comes along that just wants to lose a couple of kilos. We're not talking about those sorts of people. Yeah, that can't have a transplant or can't safely have a transplant.
So I guess these are the things that
Yeah.